Hey, what's up guys? Mike Patrick. In this video, I'm going to talk about 2 ways that you can know that someone really does not like you. 2 ways that you can know that someone really doesn't like you. One, how their pets act around you, okay? So, when someone really doesn't like you, and even if you don't know them personally, but they may just not they may stereotype certain people, and they just might not like certain people whether they know them personally or not. So if you have a white person that's racist towards black people, if you have a black person that's racist towards white people, etc., usually their pets will react a certain type of way around you. All right, so a lot of times if you see someone walking their dog or something like that, and if that's generally a okay dog, it's not really a vicious dog, but that dog barks and growls at you, 9 times out of 10, that owner, the owner of that dog, has some type of ill feelings towards you, whether it's personal or whether it's just, on a collective basis who you are, whether it's your race, sex, age, anything like that. Pets take on the emotions and the mannerisms and the attitude of their owner many times, okay? And so if a person that owns a pet really feels bad about you or feels, has ill will towards you, then it's going to normally reflect through the actions of that pet. Not in all cases, but in a lot of cases. That can just be evidence, not really something to convict someone on, okay? It doesn't mean that every person that you see with a pet, and if their pet don't like you, that that person doesn't like you. But in some cases, it can be used as evidence that that particular person does not like you. Not only because people's pets take on their emotions, okay, and the way that they feel and the way that they act a lot of times in their mannerisms, but also people, they do everything around their pets. If their pets live in their homes and things of that nature, then they talk a lot around their pets, okay? So if they're talking harshly about a particular person or a particular people, okay, then also the pet can pick up on that, believe it or not. I know that sounds a little bit more out there, like what like like the dogs can understand what the people saying, but it's not so much that they can understand exactly what the people are saying, and in some cases they may be able to, but it's more so just that energetic. It can take on that energy, it can feel that energy, you know what I mean, the intent of what the person is saying and how it's being said, even if the dog can't, or the cat, or whatever the pet is, if it has potential to be aggressive, it can still take on the energy of what the person is saying, their owner, okay? Now, another thing, okay, number two, how can you know that someone really doesn't like you? The way their children act towards you, okay? The way their children act towards you. Now, this is big because children are we know children are like sponges. So, a lot of times, right, people talk a certain way around their children, all right, and then what happens is if they get around a certain person, the adult has the discipline, okay, and the knowing, and the phony way, to be honest with you, a fake phony way of being able to talk about somebody behind someone's back, maybe even do things behind someone's back, but they have the ability to get around that person and then basically be phony and be fake. Well, children, a lot of times, they don't have this ability yet to be able to, if it's someone that mommy, daddy, or whoever has been talking bad about, okay, or been talking about, the child's going to have a hard time not showing that when they get around that person. So, if a child, doesn't seem to like you for any particular type of reason, and sometimes this can be different. This, like I said, what I'm saying about both of these things is not a conviction, okay? It's not a guarantee that these things are signs that people don't really like you, but it can just be used as evidence. It could be things to weigh, okay, and take into consideration when you're trying to figure out how someone may really feel around you, okay, or feel about you. Now, So with that said, children are very intuitive. So therefore, just because a child may not particularly take to you, it could just be something about you that that child does not take to or doesn't like, and it doesn't mean that the parent is necessarily saying anything ill or bad about you. Okay, but in some cases, that is an indicator how a person really feels about you. Now, with this, guys, this can be taken two ways, or this can be used two ways. Okay, so in one instance, like I was saying, it can be used for people who don't even know you personally, but they might not like a particular race, a particular sex, a particular age group, anything like that. And therefore, you don't even know people personally, but you may be around a pet or anything like that. And a lot of times you can tell how that person probably would feel towards you, how that person feels about you, just in interaction with their pets, and the same thing with their children. Okay, when their children are just around, let's say you're out in public or anything, you don't know these people personally, but you can just tell by the way that their children are acting. Okay, because we know adults can be phony and fake. Okay, and and so that's from a standpoint of, you may not know the person or know people personally, but that may give you indication right there whether you should even consider trying to get to know someone. Okay, because then you can weed through all the fake stuff and you already know what you're dealing with to some degree. All right, and then you have instances where this is relative based on, it's people that you know, right? But they may be, everything may supposed to be on the up and up and things like that. But let's face it, and you can't really blame people too much. It takes a hell of a character and a hell of a person, okay, to just not ever speak any negativity or ill will behind someone's back. Me personally, I could say I've done it in the past, okay? But that's one of the things that I've truly tried to work on. And that's one of the first things that I was able to get rid of. Because for one, I never really was comfortable doing it anyway. It was always just me being influenced. So I would be around people who was those type of people, gossipy type of people, people who like to start talking about other people negatively and in a negative manner. And then just to not feel left out, I would feel coerced, or I would feel seduced into also saying something bad about a person. But I never really liked doing that anyway. You know what I mean? And so, um, damn, so what was I saying? So, but that's the thing. Like, most people, a lot of people do that, okay? And they don't, and it doesn't mean they're a horrible person. Some people just get caught in that rut, like gossip and things of that nature, and talking and always talking about other people who are not present behind their back. It becomes a habit for a lot of people, okay? And a lot of people don't even think nothing of it. They just kind of do it. But what you should do is pray for that person. If you think it's something wrong with somebody that maybe you don't like them personally, maybe y'all did something to each other, maybe you did something to them, maybe they did something to you, for whatever reason, don't talk behind that person back, because it lowers your frequency, it brings you down. It's not cool to be gossipy, okay? All right, if you have something to address with a person, address it with that person, and then you should probably just leave it at that, okay? But as far as talking to third parties about someone else, okay, that's just it. All it can do is lower your frequency, okay? And but often that happens with people that we know also, okay? So we talked about it from two standpoints: people you don't know and people you do know, okay? But look at how they pets treat you, or talk, or act around you, and look at how their children act around you, okay? And that can be an indicator sometimes. So hopefully this was just a video that to help you out. Maybe it's something to think about, and give you a little bit of intuition, and better intuition when it comes to dealing with people. All right. And because that's something that is prevalent socially, because this can help, because when you know how people really feel about you, you can know not to waste your time with certain people, okay? You can know not to get too involved with certain people, keep your circle close, anything like that. You can know who to avoid, who to not even build a relationship with at all. Like I said, from a standpoint of, it could be a stranger, okay? Not to even begin with that person, maybe. And so you gotta listen to your intuition, because like I said, this is just evidence, not necessarily a conviction, okay? So hopefully this was a helpful video, guys. Peace.